My father demanded the deed to my apartment to pay for my sister's luxury wedding. That was the moment I cut my family off forever. I'm a 35-year-old woman named Elena, and I work as a lawyer, a career that cost me years of sleepless nights, sacrifices, and relentless effort. 5 years ago, I finally achieved the biggest dream of my life, buying my own apartment in a quiet part of the city. The property was recently renovated and represents every honest dollar I earned through hard work. Then there's my older sister, Sophia, 37 years old, the family's golden child. Despite her superficial charm, she has never held a job for more than 4 months and has lived under our parents' financial protection her entire life. Recently, Sophia announced her engagement to a man who shares her extravagant tastes, but not her financial reality. Together, they planned a wedding so luxurious it could rival royalty, completely beyond their means. Last Sunday, I went to my parents' house thinking it would be a normal family lunch. Instead, the atmosphere felt heavy, tense, almost electric. The moment I walked in, my father, a man who has always mastered emotional manipulation with surgical precision, served dessert and sat across from me with an overly sweet smile. The kind he used right before asking for something outrageous. "Elena, we're very worried about your sister's wedding," he began, sighing as he smoothed the tablecloth. "The bank refused to approve their loan for the venue and catering. They say Sophia and her fiancé don't have sufficient credit history." I nodded politely but stayed guarded. I already knew they wanted to spend in one night what I earned in a year. "That's unfortunate," I replied. "Maybe they should consider something smaller and more realistic." My father's smile faltered, his eyes hardening. "You can't ask them to give up their dreams," he said reproachfully, leaning forward. "This is the most important day of their lives. But we found a wonderful solution, and this is where your usual generosity comes in." A knot formed in my stomach. A quiet warning bell. "What kind of solution?" I asked carefully. He interlocked his fingers and dropped the bomb with chilling calm. "The bank will approve the loan if they have solid collateral. We thought of your apartment. We just need the deed temporarily so Sophia can use it as a guarantee. It's just paperwork." I froze, spoon halfway to my mouth. "Are you joking?" I finally said, disbelief turning into anger. "You're asking me to risk my home, my only asset, for a one-night party for Sophia, who doesn't even have a stable job?" My father scoffed, offended by my hesitation. "It's not a party, it's her wedding. And you won't lose anything. It's just a formality. Sophia will get a great job after she's married and pay the loan. We trust her." I stared at him, realizing he lived in a completely different reality. "If Sophia doesn't pay, the bank takes my apartment, not hers," I said firmly. "You're asking me to gamble my roof over my head for her whims. And the answer is no." His face changed instantly. The warmth vanished, replaced by cold fury. "You've become so selfish," he snapped, slamming his hand on the table. "You live alone in a big apartment. You have money to spare, while your sister is suffering anxiety because she can't have the wedding she deserves. Do you love bricks more than your own blood?" I tried to reason with him. I explained how putting a mortgage on my apartment could destroy my financial future, how risking a tangible asset for a fleeting expense made no sense. He didn't listen. "You've always been jealous," he accused venomously. "You can't stand seeing Sophia shine. If you were a good daughter and a good sister, you'd go to the notary tomorrow and sign without questioning it. It's the least you can do after everything we've done for you." I stood up, feeling the air grow suffocating. "I've helped financially before. I've paid Sophia's debts in the past. But this crosses a sacred line. My apartment is not negotiable." He stood too, eyes burning with frustration. "If you walk out that door without promising to help your sister, forget you have a father," he said coldly. "I won't tolerate this greed in my family." In that moment, I understood that to him, I wasn't a daughter, I was a resource. If that's your condition, I replied, my voice trembling but steady, then this relationship ends here. I won't sacrifice my life to support Sophia. I left my parents' house with my heart pounding, but my mind completely clear. The next morning, I went straight to the bank and removed the original deed from my safety deposit box, transferring it to a different bank entirely. I also consulted a lawyer to protect my property against any attempt at forgery, something I sadly didn't rule out given my sister's desperation. Throughout the week, my phone wouldn't stop ringing. Aunts, cousins, even Sophia's fiancé accused me of being heartless, greedy, and of destroying a young couple's happiness out of spite. 5 days later, my father showed up at my door, no longer shouting, but crying crocodile tears. "Elena, please," he whispered from the doorway. "The groom's family is pressuring them. If they don't get the loan, they'll lose the deposit. Just sign. I promise I'll make sure they pay." I looked him in the eyes and saw the same manipulation as always. "No," I said calmly. "And the fact that you came here after threatening to disown me only confirms I made the right decision." He tried to step inside, but I blocked him. "Please leave. I'm not discussing this again. You'll regret being alone with your money," he spat angrily when he realized the tears hadn't worked. I blocked his number, Sophia's, and every relative who participated in the harassment. Later, I found out through a mutual friend that they cancelled the luxury wedding and settled for a simple civil ceremony followed by a backyard meal at my parents' house. Apparently, Sophia's fiancé was furious and blamed the entire family for the humiliation, triggering internal chaos I was grateful not to be part of. 3 months have passed, and the silence in my life is glorious. Cutting them off hurt at first, but the peace I feel every time I walk into my apartment knowing it's mine and no one can take it away for someone else's whim is priceless. I learned that blood makes you related, but loyalty and respect make you family. They showed me neither. They tried to use my hard work as collateral, believing guilt would break me. Instead, they hit a wall of dignity they couldn't tear down. My apartment is safe. My finances are intact. And although I lost my family, I regained my peace and complete control over my destiny. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like and subscribe.